Look, I guess the state of the situation that we're in here in the middle of practice, still not in game week. Even in the scrimmage on Saturday, you evaluate, the effort, the resiliency. People can't be overwhelmed by their circumstance. You get overwhelmed by constantly talking about, negative things, how I feel, how tired I am, whatever it is. And, fall camp, practice at this time of year without playing a game every week is very challenging. And when you talk about that stuff all the time, it just creates an epidemic of the poor me's. All right, and the season is going to create tremendous challenges. Challenges in every game. I mean, we got lots of losable games that we play, lots of challenges out there, whether playing home or on the road. And you got to have resiliency to be able to overcome difficult circumstances. And that's one of the things that, fall camp is designed, to do for players. The mental toughness, the self-discipline that you need to be able to make good choices and decisions about what you do and what you don't do, and sense of purpose, driven quality. All right, something is really, really important to me. All right, and I'm going to make the choices and decisions now to create the right habits so that I have a chance to be successful and do the right things. And I think we're still, working on that with a lot of our players. We got some guys that do a great job of that, set a good example for that. But we got a lot of players who still get overwhelmed, by their feelings. And we're going to do everything we can to get more and more players on our team to have the kind of mindset that you need to be able to sustain difficult circumstances and overcome adversity in games and challenges in games that's sure to come. So that's one of the things that, we're really working on right now.
Okay, we'll get things started with Nick Kelly. Nick, go ahead.
Hey, Nick, I just wanted to ask, you mentioned the center position is one that's competition this fall. What have you seen in terms of progress from those guys throughout the past few weeks?
Well, I think we got to get a lot more consistency at the position, consistency in snaps, consistency in blocking. We do have competition at the position, no doubt about that. And, both guys are making progress, and both guys are competing. Both guys been a little banged up at times, so there hasn't been that, consistency that we'd like to see in terms of them being able to go out there every day and do what they got to do. But, it's a work in progress right now, and no decision has been made as to where we are as to, who's going to win that job.
We'll go to Casa Grande, Michael.
Yeah. What's unique about South Florida as a recruiting ground, and what factors do you think made Alabama successful recruiting down there?
Well, there's a lot of good players, number one. There's a lot of good programs, number two. It's an area that we recruited for many, many years, so we have a lot of good relationships with a lot of good people. We've had a lot of people from that area come here and be very, very successful in their careers, become first-round draft picks, have successful NFL careers, graduate from school. So the program has created a lot of positive outcomes for guys that have, come to school here. And I think players see that, and, that's why they're interested in the culture that we have here in terms of what we do to help players develop personally, academically, and athletically. And but I think the fact that there's a lot of good players there, a lot of good programs, a lot of good coaches, and we've done it for a long time and have a lot of good relationships probably is the foundation to the whole circumstance.
We'll go to Charlie.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to ask about Cameron Latou and the progress you've seen him make so far.
Guys are making progress, and young guys are I think this is harder. Some guys have more maturity than others, but everybody's making progress. We just got to get, the focus has to be on a standard where you get more consistency in performance, and that's for every player on the team.
We'll go to Zach Braziller. Zach, go ahead.
Nick, what what do you like the most about Bryce? What impresses you just the most so far?
Bryce has a really good knowledge of the offense. He's a very bright guy. He makes good choices and decisions. He has a really good feel in the pocket. Um, you know, and he's played really, really well. We want to continue to try to develop the kind of timing in the passing game that we need with the new receivers, with the people in the passing game, to do the little things right so that we can be a little more accurate, a little bit more consistent. But I think that's a combination not just of a thrower, but also of the route runner, because you're expecting him to do one thing and he does something else. So those are all things that we're working on really hard, but I've been really pleased with Bryce. I've been pleased with his attitude. I've been pleased with his performance. And we just got to get the people around him to play a little better on a more consistent basis.
Mike Rodak.
What effect, if any, do you anticipate the alliance between the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12 having on college football as a whole?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm focused on, trying to get our team ready to play a game, and I don't know. I can't answer any questions about any of this stuff that we're doing right now. We're just going to, whatever affects us, we'll have to adapt to, and that's what we'll be focused on, and trying to help our guys have a better chance to be successful. And I don't think what they do in the Pac-10's got anything to do with that.
We'll go to Michael Rothstein.
Hey, Nick, I want to take you back a little bit to Toledo and Michigan State, if possible. We're going to start on Dean Pease, and I'm curious, what was it in Dean that you saw that made him such an attractive hire for you twice as a defensive coordinator?
Who, Dean Pease?
Yeah, Dean Pease.
Oh, well, Dean is an outstanding coach, really good person, great family, sets a great example, very smart when it comes to, game planning, very good presenter, to the players. He's got really good leadership qualities, very good teacher, on the field. He's one of the top coaches that we've ever had on our staff on the defensive side of the ball, and I think the success that he's had in the NFL, probably bears that out, as well as the great job that he did for us.
We'll go to Cecil next. Cecil, go ahead.
Coach, Derek King, the Miami quarterback, missed time due to injury last year, but when you look back on his film before he transferred and when he's played, what do you see out of their quarterback?
Oh, he's a very good player. I mean, he's a very athletic guy, great feet, good quickness, very good runner, can extend plays, is a good passer, presents a lot of problems. They go fast. He does a really good job of, operating their, up-tempo type offense. So this guy's a really good player. So it's going to be very challenging for us, not only because he's a really good quarterback, but he's a great athlete playing the position.
Okay, we got two more. We'll start with Tony.
Yeah, Nick, earlier this month, you talked about James Burnup. He's a guy with a lot of different kind of kicks in his arsenal. How comfortable are you kind of letting him do those, or are you just going to stick more to the traditional punts?
Well, we basically have him, going over with the rugby team every day so he can play rugby and feel more comfortable, doing that, since we're so worried about him playing football. He's doing really well with the rugby part of it, so we'll see how that goes. But he's made a lot of improvement and a lot of progress in terms of feeling comfortable, and he does have a variety of ways that he can punt the ball, and he's pretty effective at it.
Okay, we're gonna finish. Charlie, do you still have one? Coach, Go, Charlie, if you've got one, go ahead. If not, we're going to finish up. I haven't stopped laughing.
Yeah, I got to go to rugby practice right after this.
It's not about rugby. I just want to ask about the corners and just the maturation you've seen from that group as a whole.
Josh has had a good camp so far. He's got good knowledge and experience of the position. Some of the young guys have shown promise. I think they're still, maybe feeling their way a little bit, but they've shown some promise. Kyrie, Kool-Aid, those guys. Marcus Banks has done a pretty good job. Jalen Armour-Davis has played fairly well. He's been a little bit banged up here for the last couple of days. But so we need to get everybody out there on the field so we can work together as a unit, which is something that we haven't been able to do for the last, 3 or 4 practices.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.